Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of how to improve your iron accuracy and distance control. In part 1 we covered the relationship between miles per hour and distance in yards, and we're going to take that a little step further with practice session number 2. If you haven't already seen part 1, a link should be at the top of the screen right now, and I highly recommend checking that out. Here in part 2 though, we're going to take things one step further and kind of go through a random club challenge. So it's the same kind of principle. What does a swing speed feel like? But now, random club. The best way to do this is to use a random number generator. Use 2 of them. One, you want to set between 5 and 10. Pick a number between 5 and 10. 5 iron, 6 iron, 7 iron, 8 iron, 9 iron, 10 being your pitching wedge. So random number generator 2, you're going to want to set the parameters to 100 to 150. That's going to be your yardage. Simple enough to get started. Go ahead and run that first random number generator, which is going to select your club. And then go ahead and run the second random number generator, which is going to select your yardage. Go onto the map on the driving range and simply click on the yardage on the map and it will create a target for you. And then go ahead and hit 5 golf balls. So you've kind of should have worked out right now, depending if you've gone through the whole process from part 1 through your clubs, what that kind of feels like. So let's say you selected 120 as your yardage and a 5 iron. What does that feel like? It's obviously not a full swing for most people. So what does that kind of feel like? Hit 5 golf shots towards it, kind of analyze your results. You can bring up the tracers and other kind of features on the Optishot 2 to kind of give you some really good feedback. And then once you've done that and you're pretty happy with it, or maybe you're not so happy, don't worry about it. Move on to the next random numbers. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video there and give you an example of exactly what I'm talking about. So here on Optishot 2, I go ahead and select the white flag. Basically I need 125 yards. That was my random yardage. So I just bring the cursor, as you can see, below the ball because it's currently at 122. Select 125, and the first random club generator was a 6 iron. So that's our shot for these first 5 balls. 125 yards with a 6 iron. I've obviously built a database with these kind of swing speeds, so I know 125 yards with my 6 iron. I need to be hitting this about 63 to 64 miles per hour. So that's kind of all I'm thinking about. What does that feel like? So that was the 5th and final one. And now I'm looking at the numbers down in the bottom left corner, that graph. You want to try and get 3 out of 5 shots in that 15-foot mark. That's the feedback we're looking for, that proximity to the hole. So I was pretty happy with those. They were the first swings of the day. So then moving on, the next one we did was a 142 yards with an 8 iron, which is a little bit less than my stock shot, my full shot with an 8 iron. So I know to hit it 142 yards with this club, I need to be swinging at approximately 76 to 77 miles per hour. So what does that feel like? Those current figures on the screen for the left is I was working on my 5 wood before I did the 8 iron challenge. I can't swing my 8 iron 103 miles an hour, just so you guys know. Okay, so that was my 5 balls with the 8 iron at 142 yards. And so now I can, again, go to that graph in the bottom left and see I got 3 out of 5, pretty decent, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then if I actually go ahead and click on the green, it will show me where my golf balls came to rest. So the one that said it was out in that 30-foot range was actually only about 2 inches outside the 15-foot. So that's 4 realistic birdie putts right there, one that went wayward. So overall, pretty happy with that. This is a great practice technique that you can do for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, a couple of hours. The more you do it, the more beneficial it's going to be in the end. It can be frustrating. That's just the nature of this game. But as long as you stick to the process, this will improve your golf game. So hopefully you've all done that now and maybe have a mixed bag of results. Some very good, some maybe still need some work. That's fine. That's the nature of practice. So what's next? The inevitable. We have to take what we practice out onto the golf course. So what I want you to do is go ahead, pick any course you want, but we're going to set it to par 3. And you can do that by going into the system, go into on the home screen before you hit the practice or play, you're going to select manage player. Go to your player that you've set up and it will bring up a list of options. And select the T option and you can select par 3s. Then what I highly recommend is then going ahead and setting the putting setting. I usually go ahead and set it to around 10 feet, 15 feet for gimmies when I'm doing this particular practice technique. I just want to solely focus on iron accuracy and distance control. So I'm actually going to go ahead and join you guys. I'm going to play Royal Lytham and St. Anne's front 9 and my target, even par. Let's see if we can get it. Ah, so bad. Scramble mode. That was not a very good swing. Okay, so that's it. I beat my target of even par and shot 2 under. It wasn't the best kind of feeling striking my irons. I had 2 that were very good and were kind of all over the pin. I had about 4 or 5 that were so-so, leaving myself that 25-foot range. I'd like to see that proximity a lot closer. And then I had 3 that I didn't even hit the green. One was close enough, I think it was classed as on the fringe, but scrambled well when I needed to. That's what you have to do out on the golf course to keep your rounds going. And so now, off camera, I'm gonna go ahead, load up the same front 9 and start my random number generator. This should be interesting. Okay guys, well that's all from me today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Friend.